Hello, boys and girls. Fido Day 36, Tuesday, May 12th. Our objective today is to talk about the different types of quadrilaterals. There are a lot of quadrilaterals. Remember, quadrilaterals have 4 sides. So today we're going to look at book pages 923, 924, and 925 together. You are going to complete page 927. Submit it to my email, amanda.steve@westernbeaver.org. Okay? So let's go to our book. We're on page 923. If you're not there, go ahead and pause the video to get there. And up here at the top, we're learning a quadrilateral is a polygon with 4 sides and 4 angles. We knew that. On these, we're going to measure the sides and angles of each figure to determine if any are congruent, which means equal. Then determine if any sides are parallel. Remember, parallel lines look like railroad tracks. Then we're going to complete the table. So I have my red ruler here. I'm going to measure these as accurately as I can. So on figure 1, this one is 2 centimeters. If you want to write that down. And right here, it's like 3.5, 3.5 centimeters right there. And here, it's like 1.5 centimeters, 1.5 centimeters. Remember, 0.5 means half. And this one is like 1.5 also. Now, let's take a look at the chart here. Opposite sides are congruent. That means the top and the bottom would be equal. Are the top and bottom of this figure equal? No. The left and the right are, but the top and the bottom are not. So opposite sides are not congruent. We would not put figure 1 there. Opposite sides are parallel. That means that these two right here are equally distance apart and they're never going to touch. Well, I know that if I extended this line segment right here, it would slant down so much that eventually it would cross this one. Or the same thing here. Let me do that. Watch. When it says parallel, that means they're never going to cross. Well, if I extend these, see how I extend it? I know it's not perfectly on it, but if I extend that side and I extend this side, look, they will cross. So the opposite sides are not parallel. Are the opposite angles congruent? Well, this one right here is a very skinny, this is probably like 20 degrees. It's very, very small amount. Whereas this is probably more like 85 degrees. So this would be the opposite, like the top left and the bottom right. Those are not equal. Here, same thing. This is probably like 80 degrees. And this one is over 90 degrees. Look how wide that angle is. So I would say it might be like 125 maybe, or something like that. So the top right and the bottom left are opposite each other and they're not equal. So none of these are true for figure 1. Don't worry, they're going to start to become true for some of them. Let's look at figure 2. Again, I'm going to measure the top. Well, let me get to my centimeter side. Sorry, guys. The top is like 2.5. The bottom is like 2.5. Look at the right and the left. The right is like 2. And the left, sorry, my ruler's getting stuck on my papers here at my desk, is like 2. So the top and the bottom are equal and the right and the left are equal. Opposite sides are congruent. That is true for number 2. Opposite sides are parallel. take a look at how these look like train tracks. The top and the bottom look like train tracks. The right and the left, they might look like train tracks kind of going at a slant. That's true here. The opposite angles are congruent. Okay, so if I was going to make a good guess at this angle right here, I'd say it's about 70 degrees. And this one right here is also about 70 degrees. This one here, though, is wider. It's 110, I bet. And this one here is about a 110. So the opposite, the bottom here and the top over there are equal. The top over here and the bottom there are equal. So that's true on number 2. Here we go. Figure 3. Can we easily see that the top and the bottom are both going to measure just under 3 centimeters? And the right and the left are going to measure like 2, almost exactly 2 centimeters. So the top here is about 3 centimeters, and so is the bottom. The right is 2, and so is the left. So in figure 3, the opposite sides are congruent. Opposite sides are parallel. This looks like the rungs of the ladder. This looks like railroad tracks. That's true. And the opposite angles, well, they're all 4 90-degree angles here, boys and girls. So the top left is 90, the bottom right is 90. The top right is 90, the bottom left is 90. So that's true there. And figure 4, you probably already know this. You can probably recognize that that is a square. So the top and the bottom are 2 centimeters. The right and the left are 2 centimeters. So the opposite sides are congruent in figure 4. The top and the bottom are parallel. They'll never touch each other. The right and the left are parallel. So the opposite sides are parallel. And again, they're all 4 90-degree angles. So this angle and this angle, opposite, they're equal. This angle and this angle, opposite, they're equal. Each of them has 4 sides. Each of them has 4 angles. What common attribute do all of them have? It's this right here. So if you want to circle that and draw a line down there, you certainly can, an arrow. All of them have 4 sides and 4 angles. Does figure 3 have all of the attributes of figure 4? Is this and this the same? It does have all of these attributes, but what's different between 3 and 4? I'll tell you. 4 has all equal sides, whereas 3 only has opposite equal sides. So 4 has all equal sides, but 3 has only opposite sides equal. I'll zoom out and let you guys see that. If you need to pause it, you can. Number 4 has all 4 sides equal, but 3 only opposite sides are equal. The top and the bottom are equal, the right and the left are equal, but they're not all equal to each other. Alrighty. Let's go to page 924. Very similar thing again. Okay, very similar thing again. Let's look at these together. And I can tell you right now, figure 1 doesn't have any of these things. Figure 2, the opposite sides, top and bottom look equal, right and left look equal. Top and bottom look parallel, right and left look parallel. This angle and this angle are both V angles, acute angles. This angle and this angle are much wider. They're both obtuse. So 2 goes there. This, boys and girls, is a square. I know it looks goofy, but if you turn your book, you'll see it's a square. So The opposite sides are congruent, okay, because all four sides are congruent. So this side and this side are equal. This side and this side are equal. This side here and this side will never cross. This side here and that side there will never cross, so the opposite sides are parallel. And then the opposite angles are also equal. This bottom angle and this top angle are both 90 degrees. This right angle and this angle are both 90 degrees. Another name for this is also a rhombus. We'll see that later on. Figure 4 is another square. So just like this one here, figure 4 has opposite sides congruent, opposite sides parallel, and opposite angles congruent. So on number 3, it asks us, does figure 3 have all the attributes of figure 2? No. Same as we said before, figure 3 has 4 equal sides. Figure 2 has opposite equal sides. 4 equal sides is a little more specific than opposite. Like, it's harder to have all 4 sides equal than it is just your top and your bottom, your right and your left. Okay? I'm going to stop the video here and do a part 2 where we work on page 925 together. Okay? I'll see you in part 2.